Why am I not
It's
feeling
going,
it,
brother. It's going.
No.
It's going.
Why? Oh, hello. Nice one.
Welcome, guys.
I hope I'm not getting you sick again.
Dude, I swear.
You gotta detox these mics after, because I feel it coming.
Oh, my God. Everyone's been sick, bro.
It's not great. I was doing so well this whole year.
This is your first sickness.
Yes. This whole year. I'm not even
Doubt.
kidding. Doubt?
Doubt.
You've basically been with me this whole year. You've seen me every week.
We've recorded every week since
Literally.
January. And I'm like,
We were just praised about our consistency yesterday,
We
guys.
were, bro.
Not to brag, but we out here.
Went and saw Ford versus Ferrari with the fan and a homie.
Fan first. You always gotta put the fan first.
Brandon's a homie first.
Yeah, we're fresh off the press on this one.
Guys,
it's been
we've finally seen a movie in theaters.
Time. With us, what? How long has it been?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was like episode like 29 or something.
But we didn't even see it together. The last movie we saw together, like fresh, was Us, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah. And the next one, The Rise.
The Rise.
We're not ready. We had a great conversation about that yesterday.
That's all we talked about.
That was really fun. Yeah, really. We were trying to get hyped for this movie, trying to get behind the history.
Dude, this movie had hype behind it.
We were looking up ads.
It's insane how good the reviews are right now.
I mean, I say most of them are well deserved.
All right.
We'll save it.
98%
we're only we're not even 5 minutes in.
11K user score?
Dude, $100 million to make this movie.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was 100.
I saw the stats. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I'm right.
Estimated.
Rumored.
You could tell though in some of the animation.
Was there CGI in this movie?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
A lot of CGI.
Cool. We'll get into. I know you noticed those little fucking details.
Dude, all the crashes were CG.
Oh, okay. I mean.
And then like there was also CG of like some of the Ford driving shit.
Like the wheel to wheel.
Yeah, there's like a pan down shot of like the whole stadium, and then like goes into the road.
Yeah.
That whole shot is like CG. Damn. It looks good, but you can tell.
You can't get anything real these days, guys.
I mean, fucking look at driving games now, like Forza. That shit looks.
Who plays those anymore?
I do, bro. It's fucking fresh. It looks real as shit.
I don't understand. I really don't get them. Those are the one video games I can't get behind. I don't get it.
Bro, it's like open world driving game.
Okay, if it's open world,
you
it's
go
a little
around,
better.
you meet people. Like there's other players in the world, and then you can gang up, and then you can go race. I mean, it's not like enjoyable though. It's not like the best. Like Need for Speed Underground was like the shit, right?
I just like customizing shit. You know what I mean?
And you can do. Forza's nuts.
Don't even get okay.
They have too much customization, like
shit.
down to like your fucking lug nut colors
Oh
on your rims. Like it's that insane.
This year was the year of like customization in video games. Like Spider-Man, you can customize the shit out of Spider-Man.
People are listening, bro.
Guys, it's almost the end of the year. We got to get that list out. Me and Sam were talking about it.
What best movies?
Best movies. We got to talk about what we want to do, like best.
Yeah, we're gonna do
best alcoholic scenes in a movie. I don't fucking know. Best screaming scenes.
We're gonna do a lot of fun stuff towards the end of the year. You might see the episodes shift a little bit to some more fun stuff. Like
that'd be great.
Like our best movies, our best episode, or year in a review type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a look ahead 2020. What do we want to do?
Big dreams. 90%.
If we say it on air, then we have to do it.
Exactly.
Kind of
you gotta hold us accountable.
Just to hold ourselves accountable.
Good God.
Freaking 2020 New Year's, bro. We gotta drop that episode. We said
Patreon's gotta go live. We've got to put it out there.
Dude, let's get this
I was
stout
gonna say,
open.
yeah, let's get this open.
Right. I got.
We got content for you guys. I can't either.
This is
nothing. That was weak. But we got
all they heard were my keys hitting.
Literally,
the
it's gonna like bleed your ears out.
Yeah, we got the bottle now.
Okay, I say this says Rev.
Yeah,
so that's why I bought it.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
I think you say it with a hawk sound, like Rev.
Rev.
But yeah, so
big buzz,
cars.
little cock.
Oh my God, Patty! Man, that's a throwback epi. 2 episodes ago. All right, let's taste this.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's a coffee stout.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Coffee Roast. No, it's from Parish Brewing.
It tastes like a cold brew. It's gonna drink like that. Nice, heavy, smooth. Chocolate.
Are you trying to keep me up? Like,
yeah.
what's going
no,
on?
I'm trying to get you slapped, dude.
I think
we
you're trying
need
to
talk
keep me
about
up.
this movie. We need something to lift us up from this movie.
Bro, that sounds like it's bad.
I know.
Bro.
I'm sorry, guys. It's you'll figure it out.
Sounds like it's bad.
we'll get there.
Hopefully, you know, we don't do spoiler-free shit here. So if you haven't seen it,
No, we do spoiler free.
no, we don't. We have spoilers.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
So
what
if you haven't
that's what I
seen
meant.
it, go see it now. But we're gonna jump in, and we probably will reveal a lot of stuff about the movie right away.
Even though it's a true story. Sorry.
I didn't know the true story going into this. I don't think you
either.
guys need to know it at all.
You don't.
You don't. It's just kind of like a movie.
I did not realize. So NASCAR and what is depicted in this movie is different, right?
Yeah, NASCAR is totally different.
Is different than what do they call this
Le
racing?
Mans.
I know, but like, do they just call it racing? Both are racing. It's just different brands.
NASCAR, like.
Welcome to another episode of Sam Teaches Nicole.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, there's a lot of different racing. There's Formula One. There's NASCAR. There's drag racing. There's
why is
NASCAR,
it 24 hours?
Yeah, they still do it, apparently.
That's insane.
I didn't think they still did it, and I looked it up, and I was like, wow, they still fucking do this.
France goes all out, man.
That is more of, like, track. I don't know what you really want it is. Circuit racing is what they call it.
Okay. What, NASCAR is?
No, this Le Mans race.
Okay.
It's like circuit. Formula One would be classified under like circuit as well, where there's a lot of turns and twists and stuff. NASCAR, you're just going in a circle, bro.
And it's like, what, 500 laps?
NASCAR?
Yeah.
Depends on how long the race is. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter.
They take breaks too, right? Pit stops?
In NASCAR, yes, but the key in NASCAR is speed with the pits.
So
like they're pitting under like 8 seconds.
Right. Okay. Because
Like,
in
they're
this one they
getting-
took their time.
Yeah, but this is because it's a 24-hour race.
Yeah.
But now with technology and stuff,
Dudes are
the
sleeping in
pits
the
are
bunk.
fast, and they have more drivers now.
Yeah.
They have like up to 4 drivers now. In the movie, it was only depicted as 2, right?
Yeah. We only
So-
saw the two guys. Poor
So
guys.
in the movies now, in the races now, they have like 4 because they pit so fast. So you're on the track more. Or well, you were on the track more back then, but you're driving more than you were.
So you don't have to pit as much, but you might be killing your chances of the race because your car can break down, right?
Yeah, that's what's
should
crazy about
you-
these cars. So I was watching a little clip of one, and they're hybrids.
These
now.
cars that they were
Now,
driving?
not back then, but now.
Yeah.
Like they're electric and engine, so they last way longer now. Because now you're having
Right, because
you're
coming off
not
that
using
energy.
much gas and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're driving much longer. I feel like than you would have to pit. I wonder how many times they had to pit back then. Probably a lot. I feel like fuel efficiency and stuff was kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain, but he broke the record at 3 minutes 30 seconds on the lap.
Per lap, right?
Right. The quickest lap now is only 3:15.
So he wasn't that far off.
So this tells you like
How fast he is. With the car, like the technology back then.
yeah, and it kind of shows like that track is hard.
Yeah.
Like it's a hard there's so many turns. It doesn't matter if your car's really fucking fast. You got to be able to take turns fast. You got to be able to.
And you're driving
survive.
at night in the rain.
That's nuts.
That's nuts.
It's fucking insane. I don't know, dude. They still do it, man. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, okay. Do we want to get into dislikes or likes? I feel like our dislike list is kind of short.
Yeah,
But we're going to talk about this movie like we hated it, but we didn't necessarily. So if it sounds like
it's
we
like
did,
a weird way to. It's a weird way to talk. It's a weird.
these
movie
kind
to
of
talk
movies
about.
like are hard to be like, oh yeah, like unless you're super into racing and like documentaries, like it's hard to say.
Let me tell
I
you,
loved
if
it.
you're expecting just like, I want to, all racing, I want to go fast, you're not gonna get it. It's actually
You're
more of a
not.
drama than anything else. And I think that's what surprised me the most.
Yeah.
let's talk. I want to talk about your feeling though.
Okay.
First, I want to talk about our theater experience
Oh my
because
God,
we
it was
like to
so
bring
fun.
that shit up when we.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. 'Cause we
Yeah.
fucking haven't been in a while. So
Goddamn! Every time we
Welcome
go to
back
this
segment.
theater, we get fucked over, dude.
this is like our go-to. This is like the middle point theater for me and Sam, and it's bougie as fuck.
It's nice as.
It's
fuck.
really nice. This is like one of my favorite theaters, but
The rows are like 18 fucking feet long.
and part of this was my fault because me and Sam were both off yesterday. He texted me at like 10 a.m. and we were like planning to see this movie, right? And he's like, should we get seats or are we gonna buy at the window? And I'm like, we'll buy at the window. We'll be fine. 3 o'clock movie on a Sunday, right? It's been out for a little bit. It's
been out for a week.
It's like it's a boring movie. I thought, okay, so I get there 10 minutes before the movie starts, go to the window, neck breakers,
Bro.
3rd row, side,
Neck breaks
to the side, not just
Yeah.
middle neck breakers, side neck breakers. So then Sam and his friend Brandon come, and then I get the next showing, which is only an hour later. Like, all right, that shouldn't be that packed. Even more of a neck breaker.
Yeah, like the theaters are
Literally.
sold out.
They were, but they were small theaters, so
They were smaller ones.
it was in the smaller ones.
But you got to think, these theaters are so bougie because of they're all
they have so many
recliners.
showings.
They're all
Yeah.
recliners. The rows are wider, so you can't fit as many seats in.
Yeah.
They're sold out, but they're not able to fit as many seats.
And it was a Sunday, so all the Susans and Sallys that are 60 plus.
Oh my gosh, guys! The demographic for this movie was like, we were the youngest people in there by like 3 decades.
You
Like,
didn't have to pull the decades out. Literally, we were waiting to get into our theater because we got there so early. We were waiting for the theater to be clean. The people coming out literally lived this movie.
yeah, they were there.
Not even
Like
kidding.
they were in.
They were there.
They saw Ken
No
Miles
hate.
race.
That's just facts.
Yeah, and the movie is written and directed like that.
Kind of, yeah.
For this demographic, like
A little bit.
Yes, because it's in that time, but like you could just feel like it feels like an old movie.
Okay, yeah.
You
I
know?
want to argue that it's
I
kind of
don't know if I put that as a dislike.
right. It's like it's made as a real cinema, right? It feels not like a Western, but it feels like the movies that my grandpa talks about with such like rever that I'm like, oh, it's so boring. Like I don't want to watch that, Like I don't know what movies it would be, but it's kind of fuck it. Let's just get into likes then.
Let's just do it.
It's Hollywood's year for movies, honestly. Old Hollywood. When the scene where Matt Damon's character like drives off and you see the Hollywood sign, I'm like, oh shit! Like
old Hollywood.
It's Hollywood's year. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This movie, I'm sure there's others that I'm not thinking of right now, but like, it just felt real, gritty. Not gritty. It just had that real feel to it.
Yeah,
Which this director James Mangold is good at doing.
Dan, right? Dan or James?
James.
That was it, James.
Yeah,
I don't.
pretty sure it's James.
Mangold, we got that.
Yeah.
And he did Logan and 310 to Yuma, Walk the Line,
which all are
done a
movies that are
lot
like
of-
old school, like
yeah, Logan feels it's set in the future, but
Right,
it
but it's
feels
the
like
Western.
it's yeah.
Walk the Line is one of my favorite movies.
310 had Christian Bailey, so it's no surprise that he's back here.
No Joaquin cameo in this one.
No
He's too
Joaquin.
busy with Joker, which we have not.
But
seen.
I was actually kind of excited about this movie when the Indy 500 was happening.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis. So that was like, what is that? March?
Yeah, I remember you and Sawyer
Yeah.
talking about it on one of our
A
episodes.
while ago. Christian Bale and Matt Damon were there, and they waved the green flag or the white flag,
yeah, that's
whatever
right.
the one is to go. I think it's green. God, I'm terrible at racing, guys.
It has to be green.
Yeah,
That green means go.
I just like fucking watching cars crash.
You
but
just watch anything.
dude, the Indy is like one of my favorite races.
Yeah, I can't get into racing even. I'm not.
Because they put
I don't get it.
it's different. I like Indy more than NASCAR because one, the cars are faster and lighter, and
Is that the one where tires can come off and go into the crowd? You get whapped in the face.
no,
with like a
I mean they have
full-blown
gates
tire?
everywhere.
You've seen those videos.
Yeah. The Indy cars are like the ones where the tires are like it's so low and the tires are like sit like above them almost.
Okay, yeah.
And the NASCAR stock cars are like normal cars where the tires are like tucked under. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like the Indy car, and you're like, the one that Robert Downey Jr. drives in Iron Man 2.
Haven't seen.
You've never seen Iron Man 2?
I really haven't. He's canceling this recording right now.
Fuck?
But the scene where the electric guy comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that scene.
You watched it on YouTube?
Watched it on YouTube.
What? Why haven't we done those?
Because it's next year,
It's
2020.
over, I guess.
2020.
Well, his Iron Man's dead.
What a swig.
Okay, those type of cars.
So there's more danger behind that.
Yeah, but they're fast. In the Indy 500, they put more cars on the track than normal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got like a shit show of traffic going on.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun to watch.
But it's hard to keep track.
It is hard to keep track. I don't know the rules. Like you lose points for like you can't obviously cause crashes, so that could hurt you.
Yeah, like you can't purposely bump into somebody, right?
And you can in the lapping and stuff. Like by the time they start getting going, they start pitting, to change tires and stuff. Like people are lapping each other, so you may be racing next to someone, but they may be like a whole lap behind you, and you're ahead. So that's where it gets confusing.
It's hard.
You're just like, what the fuck's? I just watching. Like I'm just watching cars go in circles. But if people are really into it, there's a big culture behind it.
Well,
I mean,
kudos to James. Like this movie, I pretty sure it's my only racing movie that I've seen, but the car sequences.
You've seen Fast and Furious.
Oh, I mean, but that's not racing. Jesus, don't like call me out
I know. Yeah, like a true, like real sport race.
Yeah. But he shot the scenes very well. It
They were
never
really
felt
well
like I was
done.
trying to look for who's who and.
A lot of wide shots that you knew where things were in when they were cutting and changing.
Or scenes in the car, like with the racer.
Yeah.
And if they were side by side, it was like from the other car's point of view, looking out the window to the other driver.
So you could see both of them. Yeah. It was really well done.
Mm-hmm. It was really focused.
Yeah, not a lot of shaky shit, so that's good.
Maybe that's why he didn't do too many racing scenes. Really, the last third of this movie was the racing. Like that's what we got.
The movie's kind of we're on likes, so never mind.
Oh my god. Save that.
I'll save it. They do a really good job of telling this story, and guys, I walked out of this theater not wanting to buy a Ford car.
I went in
ever.
Fuck Ford. I came out. Fuck Ford even harder.
I've had a Ford car and it lasted me a long
that's
time.
Right, you had a little Dodge.
No, that was my Dodge.
My
Ford Focus. Should I just cut
car that I knew? No, don't cut that. It shows like I don't know shit. That's my brand.
My little Ford before the Dodge. Did you ever see that car?
I don't think so. That was before I knew you.
Yeah.
Fords are ugly. I don't like Fords.
The Mustang though is a beautiful.
The Mustang
car.
is a pretty cute car. I will say
it's a beautiful car. I mean, and then you got the Shelby GTs, bro. And guess where that came from? Carroll Shelby.
This movie. Connected.
The Ford GT looks. I think it's a sexy looking car. Some people don't like it. So. I don't like the look of the Ferraris that they were driving back then.
Yeah,
I like the look of the Ferraris now, but like there's a scene where Christian Bale's like, well, if there's a beauty contest, we lost. I'm like, brother, the GT looks sexy.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I looked at it and I was like,
maybe
really?
just because I'm American.
it looks like a little bug.
Yeah. But maybe that line was just there to set up the bad guy. I don't know.
Or to like hype up like this is Ferrari.
Yeah.
This is Ferrari.
I mean, Ferrari is beautiful cars. I mean, back then what they showed, I'm sure it's true, is they all make everything by hand. One person.
Oh, that's right. He's literally in the warehouse like eating while they're like
one person
freaking
makes the transmission, one person makes the engine. Like I was like, holy shit. That's why they said in the previous scene Ford was like, we pump out more cars than they do in a whole year in one day.
Right.
And but what quality? Because now you got people like hand building this.
Yeah.
And
but that's also why Ferrari went bankrupt. Right?
Yeah, but they were, they're making supercars and they're making such a niche audience.
Yeah.
And so Ford's over here manufacturing lines. Just get the fucking car out, sell it, kind of like
cars.
and they Ford was on the brink of closing too.
I mean, every big business has that moment, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, we're about to
Actually,
cash out.
every car company has gone bankrupt. I'm pretty sure.
Didn't Tesla just have that?
No, they almost did.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that brink.
Yeah, every car company has pretty much gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
I think since except Tesla and I don't think Ford actually went bankrupt. They were on the verge. They made the Mustang, and the Mustang was what saved them, or one of their versions of the Mustang saved them.
Well, so this story that Ford versus Ferrari is depicting put them on the map, essentially, to get
For
them
racing.
out of that rut.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was to get them out of
okay.
the rut, but that wasn't the Mustang, But I'm talking about like consumer, like
Okay.
United States sales. But this was to get them out of a rut and into a new market. Now they're in racing, right? So,
Yeah.
And they were their manufacturing was probably slacking. So,
Which in this movie we do see a lot of the characters or the players in this story.
Yeah.
Of the real life story, like
from what I read, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And
that's
the
like
actors,
for me.
yeah, the actors were amazing.
Yeah.
Every single actor played their role so well. There was nobody in here that was like, man, they're really lacking. They kind of obviously Christian Bale is the shining star and Matt Damon's
Steals like every
supporting
scene.
him, but there was nobody where I was like, oh yeah, like why are they in this? They all fit.
Yeah, even the corporate Ford people do.
Yeah.
I don't know how real that part is with
Right.
how much they hated Ken Miles.
But
like it
Ian
seemed.
Bacoka, I don't know. Whatever. John Bernthal can get it.
John Bernthal is a great supporting actor.
All I'm saying, he can be in any movie.
He's amazing.
He can get at these thighs.
He's a great looking dude too.
Thank you, Sam.
He's a great looking dude.
There
Dude,
you go.
ever since Shane from Walking Dead, you fucking made it.
Shane, and sorry Rick, but
Punisher.
don't know why you got so mad at Shane. Like, can you blame your wife? No, you can't.
He did go crazy though.
He did. That was good though. That's good acting.
That was when the show was actually decent, bro.
Dude, that's a segment, if
Yeah.
anything. How many times we hate The Walking Dead. But yeah, he's great in this movie.
Like I said, I like that I love everyone in this movie, and I love how pretty accurate this movie is. It's from what I read and saw. I tried to research for you guys to try to give you more of a. I was hoping it wouldn't ruin the movie for me.
Yeah.
But people, I mean, there's not too much of account. Like, it's not like it's written in the Bible or something. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's not obviously 100%. The movie's not without its flaws, but it was pretty accurate for the most part. So
yeah, I went in completely unbiased.
I didn't know
uninformed.
anything about the story.
Yeah.
I
was
So
shocked
the
that
ending
everything was 24 hours, and the ending, I didn't know what the
really
ending was like.
the ending really sent me because I was pissed. I was pissed about the situation, not
Yes.
the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because your hatred of Ford was building.
Yeah, and then I was like, and then
the
the ending. I'm just gonna spoiler alert. If you fucking listen this far, like, come on. And if you don't know the story, Ken Miles dies in a car accident. So Christian Bale dies in testing
the vehicle
after they robbed him of his freaking victory at Le Mans because they wanted a shot of all three cars crossing the finish line.
That's true life, guys.
So they told him to slow down. And I watched an interview with Carroll Shelby, and he says he still regrets even mentioning to Ken, like, you should slow down. Because they had that conversation in the movie.
He was known as such a good guy, like that he would do that no matter what.
And people just didn't like him because he was kind of like... he
was a Brit.
He spoke his mind, and he was... not going to take any shit.
Yeah.
And Ford wanted someone to, stand there and read a teleprompter, basically, and be the handsome Ford driver bullshit.
Yeah, and I guess you could argue that Ken Miles wasn't the conventional good-looking guy. Like,
this is in the era of like marketing era.
Yes.
Like this is basically Mad Men, right? Like this is like we need to have like
it's
pictures and images. Yeah, so
which they do in this movie. You'll see in the background like Coca-Cola, Coppertone. Goodyear, obviously, because it's the racing, but like it's kind of in your subconscious mind that like this is the age of advertising. This is what it's about.
So
which, is great.
And I freaking love Christian Bale here, and we talk about Chris Evans and his like, for my opinion, his curse of being Captain America.
Yes.
Christian Bale is one of those actors and we just did The Fighter, and he's one of those actors that doesn't have that curse.
It's so weird.
He played Batman for 3 movies.
In a great Batman.
Huge movies, huge hero comic book.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that, this
Effect.
dude's just Batman. Like, you go into any of his movies, American Psycho, Prestige, freaking this movie, Fighter, he transforms on screen, and it's insane.
It's almost the opposite effect where it's like, oh yeah, he played Batman, and like there's moments in this movie where I see his jaw and I just envision it in the Batman cap, but it's so pronounced. Or in Batman it was like the top lip or something was
did something weird.
Yeah, his teeth were like out. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, like he was a good Batman, but it never took me out of his performance in here. It's kind of every movie I see him in, it's just like, oh yeah, like that dude can really act.
Yeah, I think.
And he was real Christian Bale in this movie, kind of. He had his real accent.
He had his real accent.
That's how he really talks. I don't think I've ever heard him. Yeah, this is the first role where he's been himself.
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
I think the Prestige, he had a slight British accent, but not to this extent.
Man,
he's
a great.
I thought he was like from New Zealand or something. Australian.
He's British. I think so.
Okay. So if anything, he's famous to me for the voicemail we've talked about. But I just think about him on the set, like, get in here
from Salvation.
Don't take a call.
Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does an outstanding job. If they do nominate him, I wouldn't be mad.
Will he be supporting or?
I think he's gonna be best actor.
Not Damie? No.
Matt Damon does a great job, though.
He does, and I kind of ate my words.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're rooting for Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles, but you're not rooting for Ford.
Yeah.
But you also want them to beat Ferrari just because Ken Miles and Carroll Shelby are on there, and like if you've even looked it up, you're like, I'm pretty sure Ford wins. But if you know the story, Ford wins, so that kind of But I thought they were gonna just like fantasize over Ford and how great of a company they are, and how good they are, and they like I said, they made me not want to get a Ford, which
or like American made.
Yeah, I respect them for telling what seems to be the most authentic version of the story. I don't know how Ford feels about that when they watch it.
I know, I'm surprised like they didn't.
But
I wonder if they got some pushback on that.
They'll just have some PR person write a tweet and say, times have changed.
Henry Ford.
We're not like that anymore.
Yeah.
So, but.
That was Henry Ford II. A slap to the face.
But it still kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sure companies, I drive a Toyota. I'm sure they fucking do the same shit. So, but.
Yeah, so Carroll Shelby was a car designer.
Yeah, he designed
car
cars.
Guy. Okay.
And this is where I was kind of like, wow, I didn't expect the movie to go this way. It was more drama than, hey, the struggle of building the car. The first prototype in the movie comes out, and they haven't even talked about design. They haven't talked about engine. They haven't. I don't know if people are going to be turned off and be like, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of car lingo mumbo jumbo, and it really wasn't.
It's not.
They showed one engine.
They have that, well, they have that formulaic scenes of like working on the cars and like, oh, the
but they weren't like in the room drawing the car, like what do we want it to look like? And I thought it was gonna get into that, like a lot about
kind of in the background.
Yeah,
like even the sketches, like you do see shots of blueprints, but it's more focused on the dialogue between the characters and what they're talking about.
Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles were huge in this story, but the engineering team was really like what was making this car happen, right? They weren't.
But they were the voices behind it, right? Like they were the ones
telling them. There's another story behind that about the engineering and
the team, the crew,
the team that's building this car. Like Ken Miles and Carroll Shelby aren't the ones building it,
but they're the ones giving the ideas.
They're the ones driving the ship almost, but. There is a lot of respect to those engineers that had to go through that. It was fucking expensive. $9 million a car. Back then?
Crazy. That's $10 billion.
Ken Miles was making $200 a day. That was almost equivalent. That's like almost equivalent to like $1,000 today.
Yeah, per day.
So the boy was rolling.
He
but
really was.
And so $9 million is a lot for a fucking car.
And this movie really depicted the layers very subtly, but I enjoyed this. Of, again, you have the crew, I don't know what you want to call it, Shelby and Miles, like the head, like the face of the
face,
and then the big corporate guys, right?
Yeah,
they really show the layers of
there was this battle,
who's working who, and what the kind of shady stuff that goes on. Which
and
Josh Lucas, he can play an asshole so well.
He just looks like an asshole, unfortunately.
Yeah, he really does.
But,
and who knows? Maybe he is one. If you look like an asshole, you got to be a little bit of an asshole.
God, dude,
There's
the fact that they made someone slow down to get a photo op is absolutely absurd.
But okay, so maybe you can explain this, maybe you can't. Why would they do that if they're winning anyway, and this guy's gonna make history?
Because they want
that looks better for Ford.
I don't know. If you think about it, Ford is like the invention of trolling, bro. Look, because Ferrari's knocked out at this point of the race. Exactly. They don't have to worry about anyone. They're way ahead. Just slow down and have all three drive over. That's kind of as a Ferrari, you would, as the Ferrari owner and people that love Ferrari, you'd be like, that's fucked. They literally slowed down just so three cars could cross. Fuck them. Yeah. That's a troll. So that maybe that's what they were going for more than the photo op. I mean, the photo op helps, but to send a statement we'll just fucking slow down, we're still gonna win.
Yeah, I don't think they really
things were different back
then. Miles over, but I
don't know how that story is. I'm gonna have to read.
It's all about selfish greed. I think they really, it was just an afterthought to them. Sure, if he wins, cool, but if not, whatever. But because that technicality was so small and so stupid. But because you were the most behind and caught up the fastest,
and
that's why you won.
That might be still back then that's probably a legitimate rule because they didn't have finish line technology to see where the car. So if you finish somewhere lined up with them, they're oh, it's a tie.
Yeah, it's a tie.
There's no way for us to tell.
I got my binoculars, but that's it.
Yeah, so
no way.
That's kind of. That's rough, Chief. I don't know if that was planned. They made it seem like it was in the movie. I don't know if Ford was really, really trying to do that. If they were, fuck them. Yeah. If they weren't, either way, that sucks. You're making a team slow down so your cars can drive over. That doesn't work for me either way. So either way, they're both fucked up moves by them.
Yeah, it's corporate baloney.
Because in racing, your team, even though you're driving a Ford, your team is almost separate from that.
Yeah, I didn't even realize there were 3 Fords in this race.
So your team is our team might drive a Toyota.
Yeah.
But we're sponsored by fucking Firestone tire, and so we're kind of managed by Firestone, but we drive a Toyota.
Yeah.
And Toyota influences our car, but back then they had ultimate power over the team. I don't know how it is now. I highly doubt it's like that now. If fucking Toyota calls them up, slow down, they'd be like, no, we're gonna break records.
I don't know. See, I think the opposite. Back then, it was easier to ignore those orders.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
you can argue it
in the
either
movie
way.
where he's don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
And
if you don't answer the phone now, it's
it's you're out. Your money gets taken away.
Yeah.
Your career's over.
You can argue it either way, I guess. Yeah. I guess you're right. But I think there's just more division between team and owners and car manufacturer and different things. But that sucks big time.
Yeah.
And then he dies still doing what he loves. Stayed with Ford to test their car just because he loved it so much.
That loyalty.
And
he liked that check, though, let's be honest.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true.
No disrespect.
But, sad. Very sad. I didn't expect that to happen, dude. I was like, fuck. Right when I saw him getting the brake fade.
Yeah.
I was like,
here
dead.
we go.
Oh.
Well, and then the movie kind of foreshadows this a lot.
Well, they had problems with the brakes and on the car.
Well, and then the son asking about getting removed from the fire. And then
sometimes
they make it out. Sometimes they don't.
Dude, I felt so... It was fucked up when that Phil guy...
Yeah.
when Shelby's all pissed off at his new driver because the new driver's like, oh, the car's amazing, and he's been in it for like a day or whatever.
Right.
And Shelby's like, you've been in it for like less than an hour. You don't know shit about the car. Like, obviously hurting over Ken. But the Phil guy, the other pit team member, the older guy, he's like, it's been 6 months. Like, telling him to get over it. And I'm like, bro, it's 6 months. It's not even that long. Exactly. Like, if you were like, it's been 6 years, like, I'd be like, okay, it makes sense. But it's been 2 days, dude. Get over it. Ken's dead.
You're still in the same place that he was just at like 6 months ago. It's fine.
Like, what? Bro, give him some time to heal, bro. You just lost a lifelong friend. Like, what?
In front of the dude's son.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was his company. Like, it was his testing.
And he felt like it was his fault. And he felt like he didn't give Ken a lot because he hurt Ken multiple times in there.
You're never going to get over that.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? That line was so weird.
That was, that moment was like, come on.
Because he was like, it's been 6. And I'm like, oh, it's been like a long months. I was like, oh. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to say like 6 years or something crazy. But, yeah, that's why I got all the likes. Yeah,
I mean, a very technically good movie.
It's beautifully shot. Yeah. Honestly. Like, there's a lot of good shots in this
And again,
movie.
It just feels like that old cinema, like you're in an old school movie theater, and which he did with Walk the Line. Yeah. If you want to compare movies, too, because that one was an Oscar winner as well. Right. It's really hard to do topics that a majority of people, I mean, people can argue this because NASCAR's like racing is one of the highest sports in the world or whatever, but like our generation, right? That's kind of who we're making movies for. Mm-hmm. We're going to see this movie. It's hard to make a movie interesting that we're going to see. Right. Whereas Walk the Line, it was music. Like, music's easier to film, and like the life of a musician who's kind of big even now, it's easier to film versus a really boring sport. So yeah. But they both had the same feel to me. It's just this one had a harder topic for me to wrap my head around. So I'm not putting that against the director.
I understand what you're saying. I think it's good. I don't know. They're wanting to campaign it for Best Picture, I believe. I don't know if it sits there. But I have a totally different view than the Academy because we're always wrong. But
yeah, I suck with the Academy. This year, though, I don't know. I feel like I'm good this year.
You think you're...
I feel like I'll be fine. I know. I feel like we're going to be good. I'm like... Yeah.
Well, we've done a lot of movies, so
we really have. But I think
when they announce, I think this is side tangent right now. I think when they announce the list, we need to watch every single one.
I know.
And then like have an actual formative opinion.
I know, guys, we're working for you. We promise. We want to go full time.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. I know cars, but not like that much. So I'm not like nerding over it, but I still had a good time. It was like a fun watch.
Well, I can segue into
it dragged a little bit long though, and that's my segue into the dislike.
My segue is the movie title is Ford v Ferrari, right? Mm-hmm. You're going into this movie going like, oh, okay, what did Ford do to Ferrari? What's the whole conflict? Right. Or like, what are they gonna do? And you don't really get. This is real nitpicky though, you don't get that.
It's not Ford versus Ferrari.
It's not even really. So it's like we said, there's not a lot of racing in this one, and it's also not a lot of the Ford versus Ferrari aspect of it. So you're not getting the two things that you're going into this movie for, but you don't dislike what you're watching because it's really about that drama at the core of it.
It's more like Ken Miles and Carroll Shelby versus Ford versus Ferrari.
Exactly. Like, so again, it's nitpicky, but like the way they marketed it and the way this movie is kind of scripted should be about. I want to know more about this history, but I don't.
Well, I don't think there was much to it, right? Besides the initial plot of the guy. Apparently, that's a true thing that the Ferrari owner did say hateful things to them when they went to.
Well, I wanted more of those dialogues then. Yeah. Between the corporate heads, between Shelby and Ford
in the office. But I think that's literally all where it was at, and then it was just like, we should get into racing and beat them. Yeah. It's not really like, hey, we're beating them because we have a battle against each other. It's more like Ferrari runs this. They win a lot. Yeah. So here we are. We're versing them. So, Yeah, and I think it is a little too long for my liking. I've heard a lot that people love it. The pacing's great. For me,
it kind of drug on points.
Yeah, when they're like getting through all that red tape and like the documentation to like get this rolling,
yeah,
it's dragging. And it's not that it was bad to watch, but it does feel long by the time we start racing, and it's like the final third of the movie, and now we're racing a lot more.
Yeah,
compared to the front half. You're kind of like, wow, when is this ending? Kind of thing. Like it's getting pretty long. It's only 2.5 hours.
The last half of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like feature length normally, right? But maybe, I don't know, 15. You could have cut 15, 20 minutes out, probably somewhere.
Okay, I want to cut out the scenes, or if we're not going to cut it out, I want more of this. I say this a lot, but the scenes at the Le Mans race where they're right next to, which I'm sure didn't really happen in real life, maybe it did, but they're right next to Ferrari, right? And he's kind of sabotaging the Italians.
Yeah, I don't get that.
They didn't put enough behind that for me. I mean, obviously, like, Ford wants to beat Ferrari and whatever, this great car, but Shelby's wasn't that guy. Like, he wasn't in it for that.
I don't know.
So why is he doing that?
I want to learn more about him. Did he actually do that?
Yeah.
Like, did they consult him and he was like, yeah, I fucked with them, like, on the pit crew.
Like, stealing the stopwatch, that was fun, but why are we doing this now?
If that actually happened, then I respect it.
Right.
But as a viewer who doesn't know the story, and I don't even know if you knew the story, you knew that much detail about the story.
Exactly. There's no way.
It's kind of like weird, and that's where I was saying at the beginning, this pays to the audience because this demographic was loving those scenes.
Yeah.
And me and Nicole and Brandon were just, like, okay, like,
right.
But they were like
I can see it,
like
but
the
I'm not
lady
gonna laugh out
and the
loud.
guy behind us were dying.
And the guy in front of me.
Yeah, they're like, ah! Like fucking.
They're like throwing themselves into a coughing fit.
Almost crying, laughing. I was like, brother, he just dropped a lug nut. Like, what?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, what the
but also, and at first I didn't know what he was doing, and then I was like, oh yeah, like, okay, cool.
But
cool.
If he did that in real life, okay. I also a little bit of disrespect to you, Shelby, because that's kind of fucked up.
I mean,
fucking with the teams. I mean,
I think that's pretty funny.
I'm sure it happened a lot back then because there was like no rules. You didn't
There's
have
no
to
way
like
around it.
You didn't have to be like caged off like they kind of are now. Like they're like divided more. But
the beginning scene too, I don't really get.
What was the beginning scene?
It's him racing, Shelby racing in the Le Mans, and then he catches on fire. And I don't know if it was a dream sequence. I don't know if it was a like obviously it was a flashback, but they kind of did it as a dream sequence. But it was leading into his heart attack or his heart problems.
He won.
Right, but why would you? I don't understand.
The fire part.
Well, that's foreshadowing, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just didn't like how they opened with that, and we don't really get to see his problem. Like, we know that he has heart problems, but it doesn't play a huge role in the movie. It's just that's why he doesn't race.
That's just how it opens, and he can't
That's
race.
why he has this business, but it does. I don't know. They could have cut that. They could have done it differently.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Those things could have been left out, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They could have told that story way differently there, that scene.
Yeah.
But, it just seemed a little too much. Like, it's a lot. It feels like a drag. It may not be a drag, but it feels like one because you're like.
At certain moments.
Because you're getting exhausted with, like, trying to keep up with the story almost.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're going to buy Ferrari because we're going to do this and we want to do that and this is what's going on. We're not buying them. Fiat's buying them. Fucking. I'm like, all right, I get it. This is real life shit. This is real life business drama. But where are the cars? Where are the racing? You know,
I'll argue that it's like the focus. You're kind of like, where am I going to focus? Okay.
Yeah.
Should I focus on the head of Ford being a dick? Should I focus on Ford like versus Ferrari, or should I focus on this friendship between Shelby and Miles?
Yeah.
You're kind of thrown all over the place, but it doesn't feel chaotic.
We said this with Fighter too.
Yeah.
Almost. We're like, are we focusing on Christian Bale or are we focusing on?
Yeah, you did say that.
Or Mark Wahlberg. I kind of felt the same here. I was kind of just like, Matt Damon, Christian Bale, all amazing actors. Everyone's fucking good here. but where is the story headed? I'm not fluent in the story, but you don't need to be. I'm not saying you need to be, but that's just how I felt when I was watching it initially. And then like John Berthal gets a lot of time in the front end.
He does.
Disappears after that. Like,
and it's all about Josh Lucas's
yeah.
character
So then
being
it's
an
just
asshole.
that stuff kind of there doesn't bother you while you're watching it.
It bothered me.
Well, it does, but you don't really realize, like, subconsciously it's bothering you.
Well, it bothered me
I was
because
never like, where's John Bernthal? But when I walked out, I was like, yo, like, he's just gone. Like, he's in it, but he's like he's literally in the background clapping. And then that one scene where he's laughing had me dying.
So my problem, during the movie, I was kind of confused, I guess. But in the beginning, like you said, he's a very heavy player. And then there's certain scenes where it shows him as the good guy. He's on Shelby's side.
Yeah.
But they don't go into that.
I think yeah.
It's kind of like,
he's
against Ford too.
The way I interpreted it was that it's just the corporate bullshit. He's gonna be like, I can't do anything. But
it seems like
I'm on your side.
Like exactly.
Yeah, like I'm on your side, but like you expect me to say something? Like there's nothing I can do.
But we don't get that
I know.
much.
I know, but that's how I got it.
I don't know. I mean,
I agree with you. I'm just saying,
more.
like, that's where when I came to that conclusion. Like, if they were to interpret it, it would have just been John Berthal being like, "Brother, my hands are tied." Like I don't know. He's gonna be like,
he's from New Orleans suddenly.
You really expect me to do something like that? He always seems like he's on crack, dude. I don't know. He always seems like he's on something.
On
he's
steroids.
He's just fucking hyped all the time.
I mean,
he's a good actor.
He's a good actor, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's
me,
it for
bro.
dislikes. Yeah, I mean,
you got
we're not
anything
shitting
else?
on it.
No, not at all. It's just not a perfect movie, and I don't think it's for me. I wouldn't put it on my best picture.
It's not a perfect movie for us.
That's true.
I can see how it will be a best picture, but it wouldn't be my choice.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I see that. It doesn't fit my demographic.
Yeah.
It literally is going. You know what? It might be Best Picture because the Academy is probably we're all alive during this moment too. So
yeah, exactly. Like, cast your votes, people.
So they're all like, "Wow, Le Mans, Ford."
It's suddenly trending on Twitter.
Yeah,
Le Mans.
Yeah, brother, there's no choice. Ford. Fuck Parasite. Fuck those other movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
America. This is what it's about.
So it might come home big. I don't know.
I don't know. This is gonna be a good Oscar race this year. I'm saying
I'm
with
interested
us.
to see. Yeah,
because we've actually seen some
I'm
stuff.
interested to see what's going on, but I'm telling you, I think we should do all of them.
For sure.
We may not do episodes on all of them because that's a lot.
Yeah, no.
But
we'll be informed for you guys.
I'm sure we've seen some of the ones that are gonna be on the docket, anyways.
I have for sure.
Yeah. So, that's it, man. We gotta do shots we love, and
this wouldn't be a movie that I would rewatch ever.
No.
Like, I'm not gonna.
I'm done with it.
Yeah. I don't need to watch it for the history again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd rather just look at more interviews with Carroll Shelby and understand where those connect. And I don't even know if he had consulting on this movie. I don't know that detail.
Yeah.
I don't.
And this sounds bad too, but this is also not a movie that I'm going to rewatch. I think we said this for The Fighter. Yes, Christian Bale did an amazing job. Everybody in this movie did an amazing job, but I'm not going to watch it for technique to be like, oh, where's the scene where Christian Bale does this in this movie?
Yeah.
Where certain movies of his I'm going to rewatch just for that.
A lot of the scenes never stuck out to me where I'm like, dude, that's like an iconic, or that's something I'm going to refer to Nicole to. Like,
exactly.
It's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just floated away.
The accents are what stand out. Like Matt Damon does a Texan accent.
Yeah.
Christian Bale does his normal accent.
But other than that, like, it's kind of just like, okay. Like, Matt Damon flying the plane. Bet you that you'd even think of that.
Shit.
Right?
You just brought it up.
Yeah,
right?
like, it's just like, it was in the movie.
Yeah.
But does it matter?
It was a brief comedy scene where I kind of giggled at, but then, I did not.
Is that real, though? I don't know. But, again, I'm just trying to get you guys to understand. Like, that's where I'm coming from. Like, there's, like, large portions of this movie that I don't know. Yeah. I just saw it, too. I remember all the racing stuff and all that other drama. But there's a lot of stuff that I think it was just a little too long for me, and it could have been cut down. But
It was
Shots
like
we
a
love.
showcase. Yeah, shots we love.
As you guys
It's
know, we
hard.
picked that favorite shot and
There's
of the
always one
movie.
shot that stands out to you in a movie where you're like, yeah, I
And
like
I
that.
just said, "There's nothing memorable in this movie." So,
but no, we were
this is-
discussing before pod that like it was hard for me to pick a
it's
shot
a
that
hard
I love
one to pick a shot.
because
Yeah,
it all just seems so normal. Like normal,
yeah, it
you
just
know?
feels like real life. Like
Yeah.
nothing really stands out as like amazing.
Yeah, he didn't shoot it that way, but
Yeah.
he is a great director and
Yeah.
it's shot very well. But it's not like anything standing out.
What are you gonna pick? Or do you want me to go?
You go first.
I'm doing in the Daytona 24-hour race.
See, I don't know names.
When they're,
No, I'm saying for mine, I have one,
Yeah.
but I don't know where
Um,
it is.
it's the one before he goes to France, basically.
Okay.
And there's a shot of his car. It's like outside his car. Don't know how much was CG there. I wasn't really paying attention because the camera does a great job of focusing on Christian Bale.
Yes.
And it zooms into Christian Bale's face. He's about to rev this thing above 7,000 RPMs, which they were telling them not to do because the car's going to blow up, basically, because you're pushing it to the limits. And he's seeing through his glasses, in the glasses he's wearing, you can see the reflection of the two cars in front of him. And they're kind of like opening up for him,
Yeah.
like separating,
Right.
and like it's like you're in Christian Bale's head. He's like ready to go. This is it, and then he just throws
Damn.
it into the next gear and then guns it. I like that shot a lot. I don't know.
That sounds like a cool shot, and I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
Damn, dude. Yeah,
I guess I
that
didn't
was
focus
like-
on his glasses.
Yeah,
that
was the
would have been
yeah.
really cool.
If you look at his glasses, you
Yeah.
can see the cars, like the reflection of them, and you're like, that. I think the shot was made for that part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the car part was an afterthought. So.
Which is funny that I mentioned his sunglasses because any scene with him in his sunglasses in this movie, I was down for.
Right.
And they just looked, I don't know, Christian Bale just pulled it off.
He's just great.
But sunglasses were the star of this movie, I guess. Like, you know, both of our main characters had it.
They all wore them. Shelby did.
So I might not be 100% on this, but I'm pretty it's Le Mans, and it's like halfway through the race, and it's when Miles is not currently in the car racing. I don't know why they're standing next to each other, but it's Shelby and him, and it's like a wide shot of them, but like angled up so you could see the both of them, and they both have their sunglasses on, and they're looking out at the race, and they're just talking. I don't know. I just like the shot of the two of them.
Yeah,
side by
I know what you're
side.
talking about, but I don't know if that's Le Mans. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot which. I'm pretty sure because that was like his main race.
I
with
think.
Shelby.
Yeah, I think they had there's a photo, like one of the.
Yeah, it's like him talking about something about the race.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It was like solidifying
yeah.
the friendship, not
simplistic
solidifying,
shot
but like
and
giving that more friendship tone to it.
yeah.
The movie was good, guys, overall.
Well,
and
what-
that's gonna go in our shot score
Yeah.
here, but.
yeah. I don't want to give it this shot, but I kind of do.
Give it in, bro.
What do you give it? What do you give it?
All right.
Just looking at my notes right now.
I'm giving the shot score first, and 0 being the best, 5 being blackout drunk.
yes.
I'm giving it a 2.
Okay.
Is that what you're giving it?
That's what I
Fucking
give it,
hell.
yeah.
We can't do the same score every
Yes,
time.
we can. We actually have not been having the same score.
I think we have.
Probably. I just don't remember anything on pod.
But yeah, it's a 2. It's a little too long.
But it's a solid movie.
It's a great it's a solid story.
We did have a few marks going into it.
Yeah. I won't watch it again.
Won't
It's a
watch it
solid
again.
story. Honestly, kind of forgettable.
But it's
One-
because of the topic.
2 things I came out of it. One, I want to know more about the story. How accurate was it versus how accurate was the real thing versus the movie? And 2, I don't want to buy a Ford. So that was like the biggest things that came out of it. Because if it is true, then fuck that.
Yeah, no.
So those are like my biggest 2 things. I think Christian Bale does an amazing job. I think Matt Damon does a great job as well. I think Christian Bale will get nominated. I don't know about the film. Based on the demographic, it probably will.
Hard competition out there this year.
It is hard competition this year. So I don't know. We're always surprised, though, every year. So
like, who the fuck is this on the docket? Never gonna see.
yeah, never hit major theaters. Just literally.
Like, hope you get to see it.
So
Wins best director.
wins 12 Oscars. No,
Yeah.
big deal.
Oh, okay.
But it was a good watch. I had a good time though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a great movie going experience. Like, it was good to get our
It was
fresh
yeah.
movie, you know.
I
back
like
in.
the movie doesn't take too much risk, or no, it takes risk. Like it doesn't. It's not afraid to be sad. It's not afraid. I mean, it is a real story. I get that, but you don't feel like they're kind of like. I don't like that they didn't beat around the bush about him dying.
You don't like or you did like?
I did like that.
Yeah.
Like I think they were. Like it's real life.
Well, they
like,
foreshadowed it so much.
Yeah, they did it.
Like,
they
show him die.
Yeah, they foreshadowed it, but I'm saying like all those guys in that industry are like I get where Phil's coming from. Like it's been 6 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't make it out, and that's true. He's probably seen a lot of people die. Like that's what I get out of that. But
yeah, but it's that one
it's
connection.
real life. Like it's real. Like in a blink of an eye, you could be dead.
You're out. Yeah.
So and I like that they weren't overly focused on that, even though it's like obviously sad, but
yeah,
it hit hard and then it went away and you were still feeling it throughout the end of the movie. Yeah. So I don't know, respect to that. I think it was directed well.
Yeah, I think he deserves Best Director for sure.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
That's a little too
That's
much
our
love
Oscar
for
epi.
me.
That's gonna be our Oscar epi.
It's gonna be fun to do again.
He deserves the nomination.
Yeah.
Parasite definitely deserves all the Oscars.
Bong Joon-ho. Is that
Joon-ho?
Is it
yeah.
Bong Joon?
I'm Korean.
I gotta see it, dude.
Dude, go please immediately. We have to, guys. I really want to do an episode on it.
We know what's happening next week. We have a next week epi announcement.
That's right.
Live.
You want to
true true crawlers are gonna be able to prepare themselves.
Yes.
And not wait for the
Plus,
Instagram.
it's the holidays. Go see it with your family. It's a
I
murder
think
mystery.
I'm going on Thanksgiving.
Nice. I might go Wednesday night, honestly.
But we are gonna be doing Knives Out next.
Hello, Chris Evans.
A Ryan Johnson film.
Ryan Johnson is a good director.
Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Michael Shannon,
Lakeith Stanfield,
Toni Collette,
Hereditary. What up?
A lot of good people in this movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
It's a whodunit.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be funny and fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see all these. You're literally taking everyone from different walks of acting into this movie.
Save it for pod already.
Fuck, all right, guys,
all right.
But that's gonna be next week. So, if you're listening to this, you know to get on your horse and go see it.
Prepare yourself.
Or you can wait for that episode announcement on the Instagram.
Follow
Twitter and Facebook as well at the Film Crawl.
Nice
if
plug.
You're on iTunes, Apple Podcasts,
please
write a review down below. And we'll greatly appreciate it. But that's all I have.
That's all I got.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the Thursday episode as well for Star Wars.
It's a fun one.
It's a fun one. And
it gets funner and funner, I promise.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.